year. So it makes sense that we have our 70s theme and so many great outfits here tonight. The 70s were also a very important decade for them. They started dating in grade 12 and graduated in 1972. They got married in 74. Their son Eric was born in 1976, and rounding out the decade just in time was me in 79. So we do have just a few trivia questions about Bill and Janette in between our toasts. So the first one is, who asked who out, Bill or Janette? Janette. Bill asked Janette to go out after color night in grade 12. Bill and Janette were both on stage that night, nominated for the General Proficiency Award. Bill won it. However, they were both nominated for the Senior Sports Award, and Janette won that one. Okay, one more question before our first toast. Where did Bill and Janette go on their first date?
One eye, garbage dump.
They went to Peter Frosted's parents' house in Duval. So romantic. Okay, our first toast will be from Janette's sister Cheryl Jameson and her daughter Sasha Forsyth. First of all, Sasha, stand up, because she is wearing Cheryl's bridesmaid dress from Mom and Dad's. Cheryl and Janette have a lot in common. They have the same contagious laugh. They both cheat at cards. Cheryl likes sparkly jewelry, and Janette would like to recycle it. So, come on up, Cheryl and Sasha.
Tonight, when I first sat down to think of the toast for Janette that Janette and Bill have honored us with, my mind goes blank as I'm overwhelmed with emotions and memories from all directions when this special couple come to mind. Janette is the ultimate big sister, paving the way for the other five of us. Some of her escapades are known to many of you here, from a little driving while underage to climbing out a second-story window to join her friends. Come to think of it, I watched her climb out the window, but I do not recall how she got my thing undetected.
My dad dragged me back.
I didn't know that. Thank you, Janette, for making life easier for the rest of us by pushing the boundaries. Janette's singing and acting abilities started early and have been enjoyed by many from her school days to the present. Most recently, Janette entertained us with the classic Crazy by Patsy Cline on our river cruise in April. She is a woman of many talents. Janette continues to be our consummate family mediator, communicator, event coordinator, and organizer. You know, the older sister mother figure. These attributes served her well in her various careers. Then love struck to join Janette and Bill together in life's greatest partnership. Eventually, she became an excellent mother and champion for the two most important people who came into her life, Eric and Jane, because we all know the husband works his way down the ladder after children. The gift of grandchildren became the bright light for both Janette and Bill and continues to keep them young. When I think of Janette and Bill, the words love, welcoming, family, friends, fun, travel are all there in spades. Their door is always open and you feel home, which is one of the biggest compliments and a definite talent they share.
And when you look around this room, it's evident that Bill and Janette have a remarkable gift for creating and building community and friendships. They are the kind of people who make everyone feel welcome and valued. And they also have this way of creating a space where laughter and fun just happen. And I remember when they first moved to Saskatoon. Bill could tell the story better than I can, but my sister-in-law, Jamie, we're both in our mid-20s at the time. We decided we were gonna drop in on them unannounced. We knocked on the door with a bottle of Bailey's in our backpack, eager to welcome them to Saskatoon. They opened the door and they said, well, you know, Jane's not here. I'm like, that's okay, we're here to see you. So the four of us spent the next several hours listening to music, sharing stories, deep belly laughter, and solving all the world's problems. As everyone knows, that's what you do in Bill and Janette's kitchen. It was the first of many joyful nights at Bill and Janette's Saskatoon home, where I was introduced to several of my wonderful friends. There were just so many good nights there. I walk by there still. I kind of like want to knock on their house and say, like, can I go sit in your kitchen for a while? So Bill and Janette create these warm, happy feelings that I really feel life is all about. And all of us in this room have been touched by their warmth, and I count myself very fortunate to be one of them. Janette is a very strong woman, and so organized. Never will a bun or a pickle, anything, go astray because she has each container labeled and ready. Janette's high standards and expectations are inspiring, and I really admire how you both always push yourselves to be outstanding people and just always give, always giving. And Janette is also a natural caregiver. My parents love me and they're always there for me, but growing up, if I got sick, like, suck it up, move on. But not with Auntie Janette. I remember one time I was playing with Jane and not feeling that great, and I spent the afternoon being hugged and doted on. I was truly pampered, making even sickness feel like a special occasion. As a kid, I also had the chance many times to stay at the cabin and take swimming lessons with Jane and Eric. Janette would have all the food and beach items organized. And I will tell you, at the time, I didn't quite understand how impressive that was, but I didn't get the organized gene, so now it just really impresses me. And we were also, Jane probably remembers this, we were never without sunscreen. Like, Janette made sure we were protected, 100%. Janette has just taken me under her wings throughout my entire life, and just always provided so much love. I didn't cry at all when I was reading it before.
You know this, Josh.
When Bubba was nearing the end of her life, Janette welcomed Mom, Lori, my sisters, and me to stay with her and Bill. She made us feel at home, like you do every time I go to your house. And like we could completely be ourselves. We laughed and we cried and felt very loved and supported during a very difficult time. Janette, I feel so lucky that you're my aunt and so grateful for the love and care that you've constantly shown me. I love you dearly.
Janette and Bill's care and commitment to each other is palpable and something to try to emulate. Their example is substantial in their consideration for each other, as well as every guest through their door. Janette and Bill have a way of building people up, making them feel good and worthwhile. I love them both to pieces, and I'm so thankful to have them in my life and as such positive examples for not only me, but my family and any they touch with their gracious generosity of love and inclusion, as well as dedication to community. Janette and Bill continue to guide the way, making 70 look fabulous and fun, and 50 years of marriage an achievement of compromise, perseverance, commitment, and love. To Janette and Bill, cheers.
in gym class in 1 minute? 64.
What kind of chocolate bar did Carol Wagner bring to Janette when she first moved to Strasbourg? Peanut butter cups. Our next toast will be from Bill's older sister, Betty Ann Hagee. Before Bill and Janette got married, and Janette started picking out Bill's clothes, Betty Ann did it for him. So please welcome Betty Ann.
I was right there with you. Helen Marie Schwandt had 4 kids. Betty Ann, Bill, Doug, I think you're sitting in the back. Quick, stand up so people can see you. Just do it. And Gina. Yay. We had lots of adventures growing up in the Strasbourg Royal Hotel. Now, as senior citizens, it's a bit tamer. We keep in contact through a WhatsApp group. And recently, Gina found a questionnaire for siblings to do online, and so we exchanged answers in this WhatsApp group. The first question was, what childhood memory do you think of often? Gina said that she remembered going to the Strasbourg rink. Her big brother Bill would take her by the hand and take her to the rink, and he would play crack the whip with her and his friends.
I loved it.
She felt so cool. And then a few years later, Bill took her to the backyard and taught her how to ride his motorbike, so she felt really cool. I shared going off to sing at my first music festival, and Bill was at home with a very severe case of the mumps. I won a trophy, and I phoned home very excited about the news. And Bill, even though he was really sick, made all these posters and covered my whole room with posters, so when I got home it was to the best sister and the best singer that I know. You know, he's always been like that. He's always been cheered people on for their good fortune. Doug remembered football games and baseball games with friends in the hotel backyard. And Bill recounted the time that Doug got mad at his friend Larry Hubick and peed down the back of his new Disneyland t-shirt. Even today, Doug stands by it and said Larry deserved it. Another memorable event was the eating contest that Doug, Bill, and Daryl Erickson, who was better known as Bert, had at McDonald's after a Rider game in Regina. They assigned certain values to each of the foods, and Bill ate a number of milkshakes and chips and 5 Big Macs to go with it. He was always a very accomplished young man. Some of Bill's favorite memories came from adventures with our father, fishing, farming, hunting, working at the hotel. I remember my dad putting a 6-year-old Bill behind the wheel of a car with his paralyzed grandmother to drive her around to show her the crops. Bill also remembered Hal feeding the bears cookies from the car at Yellowstone Park. The kids were screaming in the back of the car as the bears smeared slobber all over the windows, and Mom was in the front trying to convince Hal to quit. Bill and I were also early astronomers. We would sit in a darkened hotel window at night, and we had a log, and we would look for UFOs. And every morning our mother would humor us, and she would say, well, did you see anything last night? And Bill would say, we almost saw something. Hairdressing came up often in our answers. Bill remembered doing Gina's hair over and over in the upstairs bathroom. And I said, why did you do that? And he said, because Gina wanted me to play hairdresser. And then he reminded me of the time that I poured peroxide all over his hair before And Bill said, exiting the show a few hours later, he mused to his friend, I wonder if that stuff Betty Ann put on my hair did anything. And by this time, his hair was completely white. And his friend took one look at him and said, holy Bill! Bill remembered the magic of the Eden's display windows each Christmas. The idyllic scene of all 4 kids with their noses pushed against the windows, marveling at the moving characters and trains, was one of his favorite recollections. Less idyllic was his memory of getting drunk one day after school and telling Mom and Dad that he had carbon monoxide poisoning. Because he was fixing a car in a garage. We commiserated about our various pets. Besides dogs, we had lots of rabbits, an eagle, an owl, a snake, and a skunk. Bill remembered going to the locker plant to get scraps of meat to feed the owl. And when the skunk died, we had a funeral, pulling the skunk in a wagon up Main Street while singing Jesus Loves Me. One of the questions was, what do you admire most about each other? And I said that Bill gives a great hug, is level-headed, and can see all sides of an issue. Gina said Bill is the one you want to be around as he's lively, fun, and so damn neighborly. Doug cited characteristics of our parents instilled in Bill, such as a good work ethic, the value of family, and acceptance from others from all walks of life. Bill said he admires all of us for getting along so well. Our relationship is unique, and we're very fortunate, he said. I couldn't agree more, and credit our spouses for supporting our bond, especially Janette, who deserves a medal for tolerating what we call Schwandt humor for the last 50 years. I would also note that with Janette, Bill has created the same feelings of belonging amongst family and friends that surround us here today. So let's all raise a toast to Bill on his 70th birthday and keep building those memories.
When he was little, what occupation did Bill plan on having?
Cowboy!
Cowboy. What wedding gift did Bill's siblings get for Bill and Janette when they got married?
German Shepherd.
A completely untrained golden Labrador retriever puppy named Seamus.
Our next toast will be from very good friends of Bill and Janette's, Pete and Carol Frostad. Pete and Carol have known Bill and Janette since high school, since the first date. For those of you that don't know Carol, she volunteers in Stratford, and Pete is encouraging her to do more.
Bill and Janette. Wow. We're celebrating the two of you today in a way that is fun and exciting. And we didn't even have to sneak out to do it, did we, Janette? First and foremost, celebrating the two of you turning 70 years old this year, when you both act like you're 16, is pretty evident that you're living proof that age is just a number. We have celebrated so many fun times during these aging years, as all of your friends and family here with you tonight. Like we've partied with you, acted on stage, sang in singing groups, sang karaoke, partied, worked together, volunteered, partied, boat rides, golfed, suppers, played cards, raised children, hockey ball, partied, traveled, and the list goes on. Living life to the fullest is a true compliment to the two of you, and we thank you both for allowing all of us to be part of that journey. And 50 years of marriage. Wow. That's huge. And to me, the first word that comes along is congratulations. So I'm getting a little sucky right now. I got married 2 weeks before them. So anyway, 50 years together is a testament to the power of love, patience, friendship, commitment, and understanding of each other. And to you, my friends, I'm very happy to say that I've witnessed all of those testaments mentioned between the two of you throughout these past 50 years. To love is nothing. To be loved is something. But to actually be loved by the person you love is absolutely everything. Love can never be taken for granted. And while we know your marriage is just like a good casserole, only the two of you responsible for it knows exactly what goes into it. So to watch a young couple in love is really something. But actually watching an aging couple like the two of you in love is true happiness and true bliss. The words in a song that was sung to you 50 years ago at your wedding tell the story about how your marriage began and where you are today. Pete is dedicating your wedding song to both of you on this, your 50th wedding anniversary.
We didn't do a sound check here, so hopefully this works.
You can sing.
He's now to be among you at the calling of your heart. Rest assured his true adore is acting on his part. The union of your spirits here has caused him to remain. For whenever two or more of you are gathered in his name, there is love. There is love. That's good. You can do that chorus part. That's perfect. Well, a man shall leave his mother, and a woman leave her home. They shall travel on to where the two shall be as one. As it was in the beginning, is now until the end. Woman draws her life from man and gives it back again. And there's love. And there's love. Well then, what's to be the reason for becoming man and wife? Is it love that brings you here, or love that brings you life. For if loving is the answer, then who's the giving for? You believe in something that you've never seen before. Oh, there's love. Oh, there's love. But the marriage of your spirit here has caused him to remain. For whenever two or more of you are gathered in his name, there is love. Oh, there is love.
So Bill and Janette, may you both continue to grow old on one pillow at night. And may you all here together join with me as we raise our glasses, because we all know how the story goes. They lived happily ever after. Bill and Janette, we love you.
I'm not sure if some of you were able to see that, but it was really, at the start, about halfway through the song, it was very touching. Bill reached out to Janette's hand and whispered, "It's not time for karaoke yet."
Okay, a couple more trivia questions before our next toast. Does anyone know when was the last time Janette cheated while playing cards? A year ago. It doesn't matter what day or year you ask her, the last time she cheated playing cards was just over a year ago. What was Bill's nickname when he was 5 years old? Oh, that might have been it too. His parents called him Billy Bang Bang because he loved guns and cowboy westerns. Okay, and as anxious as this makes me, I'm now going to step down from the podium and let Sean and my beautiful sister-in-law, Katie Schwandt, take over to do a toast from the in-laws.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm finding it really hard to believe a lot of these stories are true. Like they seem a little too good to be true. So we did a bit of digging. We found some letters. And Katie and I are going to read a few excerpts from those letters. You guys can decide whether you believe, who the real Bill and Janette are. I'm going to start. So this is when I'm thinking, Jane was about 4 or 5 years old. Dear Bill, Jane was so excited about her first day of kindergarten some of the grade 12 students helped tour the kids around, and she was really smitten by this one young student. I believe it was a young Sean Gorel. But Bill, in her defense, he is really good looking. Now it's Katie's turn.
Alright, I stumbled upon a letter from Bill. Dear Janette, little Eric is growing up so fast. Although I am worried, he is a little bit of a wallflower. And he only has a couple of friends. I don't think he's ever going to leave Strasbourg.
We found letters. We also found a lot of notes, and there was one note that was fairly consistent, and it was very simple. Dear Janette, you were right. Love, Bill.
And yet another letter from Bill. Dear Janette, it is so cute how little Eric runs naked through the living room. Do you ever think he'll outgrow that?
There was letters from Bill and Janette, but there was also one that really stood out. It was Dear Hal, and it obviously was written prior to the wedding night, and a little kind of warning for Eric and Jane. I think Bill and Janette have had sex more than twice. So, Dad, I'm a little nervous about our wedding night. It will be our first night together, and I'm a little nervous that I might not know what to do. Hal wrote back, Dear Bill, don't worry. The great thing about marriage is you will never have to think for yourself again.
Dear Bill, and we found this and it was clearly before they were married. I so enjoyed playing cards with your parents last night, but I do have to confess, the reason we won is because I cheated. Bill, I promise to never cheat in cards again.
It wasn't that long ago. Dear Bill, and this is obviously later in their marriage, like 6-7 years ago. Our Jane seems a little sad. I am hoping she finds love again. Maybe an older guy. Possibly a dairy farmer. With 2, maybe 3 kids. And God willing, one day he is the high bidder of portable toilets.
So as a few people heard, I wrote this speech about 2 hours ago now, and it was on recycled paper. There you go. So my name is Katie, and I hit the in-law jackpot. I first attended their 40-60 party, actually, so 10 years ago, and I was Eric's girlfriend. I'm positive that I was the only girlfriend there of Eric's, but I do remember quite a few things about that party, and I remember how much love I felt in that room. I remember how amazing that Bill and Janette's story was, and the family that they built. It only took 4 more years, and for me to go pick out my own engagement ring and ask Eric to go get it. We got married, and I finally did get to join this family. The morning Eric proposed, I called Janette, and I asked if I could be her daughter. I didn't ask Bill because I knew he'd agree with Janette. I wrote a letter recently to Bill, Janette, and Jean, and I told them that calling them in-laws hardly expressed how I felt. They are my family and my loves. So, to Bill and Janette, your inspiration in everything good in this world, and I love you.
Yeah, they're okay. No, it has been, I didn't write this 2 hours ago. I'm writing it right now. To be honest, it's a lot. They're more than family, they're friends. We spend a lot of time with Bill and Janette. A lot of time. No, I truly enjoy it. Bill is great for, if you need help, he's here in a heartbeat. And Janette, if I think I know something, she'll tell me what it is right away. Well, they're awesome.
Yeah.
They're friends and they're awesome and they make life easier. So I would like to echo Katie's thoughts and say we're lucky to be a part of this family. And if you would all raise your glass to Bill and Janette. We have one last, well, two more. Eric and Jane are going to come up and speak, and then we will hear from the happy couple. How did Bill propose?
Shotgun.
There was no gun involved. He didn't make a formal proposal, but he did bring it up in a very deep, heart-to-heart discussion about destiny. And then when they decided to get married, Bill had to wait for his income tax return before he could buy Janette a ring.
And here I thought he had Benny in.
She picked it up. So now I'd like to ask Eric and my beautiful wife, Jane, to come up.
Hey guys. Everyone comfy? So Jane printed off 2 copies. I left mine in the house. And I can't find my glasses. So we'll share it. And it says here Eric will start. So like, just from the heart here, I mean,
We got you.
it's amazing to see all these beautiful people here to celebrate Mom and Dad. It's overwhelming, to be honest. So many faces I haven't seen in a long time, and it's heartwarming to see everybody here. So,
They're not
thank you.
yours. I don't know who's they are. Give them their.
Okay, here we go. As children dream couple.
You wrote that, right?
Those are my words. We didn't want to make this a comedy show because, you know, everyone else is so funny. We're here on more reminiscent and acknowledgement note, and we're both lawyers. We'd like to run through a few reasons why it's been a privilege to be the children of I'm in a transition period. Okay, Jay. Well, you share this mic.
We got to be at the lake for swimming lessons every summer, even when the lesson started at 7 a.m. with ice floating on top of the water.
Yeah, and there literally was. We had a cabin and a boat, where Bill was gained the nickname the Wild Bill on the Motorboat Show by Terrence the Hammer Schultz. Gave him that name.
We learned how to water ski, and more importantly, when to let go of the rope.
Which is a life lesson too.
I remember the night I finally got up on skis. Mom and Dad took me out on my own, and I bet I had to try a total, well, maybe more than this, like 26 times before I finally got up. But both of them ever so patiently just kept looping around and looping around.
I never missed a hockey practice or a hockey game, ever.
Mom was a backstage helper at dance recital every year.
It was down, shouldn't I? Dad coached my hockey teams. Let me do this one. And Mom took me to my very first rock concert, Bon Jovi. And we snuck in popped popcorn and sodas to save $4. We got it in.
We had a real Christmas tree every year, no matter how many needles there were to clean up, and no matter how many ornaments our cat destroyed. And Mom baked Christmas cookies with us every year, something that we do with my kids every year now too.
They gave us our first jobs. Packing groceries in the grocery store, on the farm, and then taught us the good value of a good work ethic, and it still sustains us today.
We were so lucky to go on trips every year so we could see and experience new places.
And they suffered through listening to us both sing at the top of our lungs different songs while we had our Walkmans in. I'm quite certain that you can both recite every lyric to the Guns N' Roses Appetite for Destruction album out of '87 because I sang it every single road trip.
We got to go on ski trips and canoe trips. One trip in particular with the Jamesons, we could talk about for our whole toast, but there was a particularly challenging day that saw Auntie Cheryl scaling a cliffside, 6 months pregnant with Jill, and our mom paddling so hard and for so long that she later told us her motivation was to tell herself that the Nazis had her children. And she had to keep paddling to get there to save us.
It was life or death. taught me to hunt. How to gut a deer, which I never really did. Mostly watched him do it. He taught me how to, I was welding with an arc welder at 14 years old. So that was a nice bonus. There was never a time when our friends weren't welcome. With them with arms into our home. All the time.
Mom did her absolute best to keep us all healthy, feeding us every vegetable, low in sugar, low in salt, high in fiber meal you can imagine. And this is just a tip of the iceberg, this list. And while we were talking about it, we just thought to ourselves, how did they do it all? And they were running a farm and a grocery store with employees and taking care of a cabin. They were very involved members of the community, and they were raising us. And to us, they made it look easy.
Turns out it's not easy. Newsflash, it's not easy. I am 26 years older having my first child than they were having their first child. And I can barely believe how they pulled it off. Everything they did. Making sure we were well brought up. Doing everything that they did. Like Jane said, running the farm, running the store, raising the kids, etc., etc. It's not easy, and now I know that. And so, where am I here? We were, as kids, given every opportunity. We were never held back from anything. And it allowed us to dream big. And the world was our oyster, and it still is. And so, thank you for that. Don't stop yet.
Mom and Dad, we have always appreciated you. We've always been grateful to you for our childhood and still your endless support for us as adults. Now that we've become parents ourselves, it really takes that appreciation to a whole new level. We see firsthand now the time, the energy, the challenges, and also the absolute joy that comes with it. How did you make every holiday so magical, and how did you make every trip so fun?
You got more? You may have had more energy than us starting out at 20. But you've built an incredible life together with love and hard work. Thank you so much. We love you so much.
You've also waited a long time for grandkids, ever so patiently. And now we have the privilege of watching you with Maverick and Billy and Davis. And we catch glimpses of how you might have been with us when we were little. Except our kids never hear the word no. Everyone gets what they want, and every game gets played at Papa and Grandpa's house. We love you so much. Thank you truly from the bottom of our hearts. Everyone stand and please raise your glasses to Billy and the trivia questions of the night, and then we'll hear from the couple.
Okay, so we've all heard that Bill wanted to be a cowboy ever since he was wee little. So when Bill was 6 years old, he was all dressed up in his cowboy outfit. It was July 1st. There was a parade in town, and his pony was tied up behind the hotel. Bill idolized this one actor, and the way this actor used to get on his horse, he would run up behind it and jump on the back of it. So Bill hitches up his belt, adjusts his hat, and goes running towards the back of this pony. The next thing he knows, he's been knocked unconscious. And the question is, who was this actor?
Roy Rogers.
Roy Rogers.
How old was Janette when she stole her first car?
14.
She was 15. But here's Janette's answer. Janette claims the car was actually borrowed, not stolen, from neighbors. Even though she didn't ask permission, she had the intention of returning it within a couple of hours. The keys were left in the car. What choice did a 15-year-old have anyway?
They went to karaoke bar.
Okay, that's it for us. Bill and Janette, come on up.
So that's why you left Wynyard.
Okay, just so you guys know, I'm a very well-known wimp, and I cry every time I talk in the mic. And Janette made me promise that I was not going to spoil this really short speech that we have by crying. So I remembered that when everybody's seen Peaky Blinders?
Yeah.
Okay, so he used to give those impassioned speeches up in Parliament. And the guy said, you give such impassioned speeches, and how do you do that? And he said, you keep the emotion out of it. You got to say what you're going to say. So I'm going to attempt to be Peaky Blinders tonight. She also told me not to say anything that wasn't written down. That wasn't on here. Now I'll start. Okay. Wow. Those are some amazing speeches we just heard. I'm kind of wondering, who are those people you were talking about? I'd like to meet them, actually. No, really, thank you very much to all of you guys so much for all the wonderful things that you made up. Or you said. We'd like to thank everyone, family and friends, for joining us today in this celebration. And some of you have traveled a long ways, and we really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
We'd especially like to thank Jane and Sean for their long hours of work in preparation to host this amazing event. Also, thanks to everyone else who volunteered in any way to make this evening happen. And thanks to Linda Lanigan for all that great, those goodies there. Thank you for bringing those. We have known our good friends in the One-Eyed Dogs band for many years, and we're really happy to have them here to entertain us tonight with their fun music.
We feel blessed to have spent the last 15 years loving, working, and experiencing life together. We're so fortunate to have raised two wonderful children, Eric and Jane, and we love them and their spouses very much.
Who are named Katie and Sean.
And as it says in the speech here, at the end of that sentence it says, Katie and Sean. Very much.
As many
so lucky to have 3 of our grandkids here tonight, Maverick, Billy, and Davis.
So to all of you, our family and our friends, thanks for enriching our lives together over the years with love and fun and laughter. We have sincerely, truly loved so many great things that we've experienced with all of you, whether it be reunions, theater company, times at the lake and the cabin, porch parties, raising children, volunteering on committees. We value the times we've had and the friendships we've shared with each and every one of you.
Some of you attended our 60-40 party. So now, please kick up your heels and enjoy our 70-50 party. Don't hold your breath for an 80-60 party. But on the other hand, don't count us out either. Love you all. Have so much fun.
Okay, that wraps it up. We're gonna clear out a few tables so that there's room to dance and let the band take over the stage again. The guest book, don't forget to get your picture taken and sign the guest book. And don't forget to recycle.